Well, hello, one and all. It is Sunday Night Live. Welcome back. It is the zoo. We got the thepreparedmind.club, the Prepared Mind on YouTube. We got the Prepared Mind, the other one on YouTube. We got two of them. Plus subscribestar.com, plus Facebook, plus X on Uman. This is the zoo where you're all here live if you want to be. We've got a hell of a show put out in front of you. If you want to participate, if you want to contribute, all you got to do is be a subscriber. And then there's a super chat button right up there on YouTube, and ring-a-ding-ding, it'll get you on the screen, kind of like this right here. But that's the address for our flagship website, thepreparedmind.club. If you want to comment, you've got to be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button. I like the thumbs up button as well, if you can hit that. Doesn't cost you a thing just to be a regular subscriber. But you got to be a subscriber for 5 minutes before YouTube will let you comment. In any event, folks, the preparedmind.club, this website here, is what you help pay for. And on that website, we have access to qualified food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense to help your plan. We got communications gear, power equipment like solar and generator. Those sorts of things are at the preparedmind.club. It's not just where you can sign up and be with us live Monday through Friday, but everything you do helps support what we're doing. And what are we doing? We're doing everything we can to wake up Americans. And when you're awake, stay informed. And as you stay informed, you get prepared. You stay prepared. You stay current. Understand where we are at. And where we're at, well, folks, it's not a good place. It's called shit hits the fan. Now, last Sunday, I said, look, if we get to $500 in super chat donations, and if we didn't make it over, we're super close. Anyways, in the local Florida area, I have a good supporter, a sponsor that's anonymous, but they said, if you get to 500, I'll give you a bonus. And that bonus was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 U.S. Silver Eagles, 1 ounce Silver Eagles. It was a great gift. Went into the retirement bin, if there's a country to retire from. But yeah, that was the bonus. And I shared it earlier in the week. I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday's video. And they make all the right sounds, but precious metals. If you've got, beef, chicken, dried meat, some sort of meat, Spam, tuna fish, right? If you've got canned meat, if you got dehydrated meat, if you've got vegetables, if you got starches, right? If you've got everything you need for food, and you've got water purification, and I've been sharing this lately. This is not a sponsor. Life Straw. This product is Life Straw, but this is not just a straw you suck on, but it's the filter system. You fill this with water, you scoop it. You don't have to suck on things, right? So making sure you're getting the best products. Tested, proven, I like it, right? Even though they're not a sponsor, it's such a good product. There are others out there that cost more. There's others out there that cost less. Find what fits your budget, that has good reviews. Get prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, right? If you've got all that stuff prepped and you still have some money, some of us are dirt poor, others have some money to invest. I recommend precious metals. This right here is a 1 ounce Marine Corps emblem silver round, right? I keep this with me every single day to remind me of things that matter. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, our country, the Constitution, my fighting spirit, the fighting spirit of all America. Right. So, yeah, if you want rounds, bars, you want sovereign coins like the U.S. Silver Eagle, I got 5 of those. It was great. You got the Canadian Maple Leafs. You got the Britannia. You've got the Australian Kangaroo. You got the European Philharmonic. You've got the South African Krugerrands, gold, silver coins, 1 ounce coin. If the banks fail, if Wall Street fails, if the dollar fails, and the reason this is important, I'll get to it in a second. If all those monies as paper currency fail or we get big inflation, the value of gold and silver holds its purchasing power. That's what's amazing. Yeah, 1 ounce of silver used to be a silver dollar, $1. Now it's over $80. It's on the rise. It's moving again. And to make things even juicier, to make things even more interesting, guess what El Presidente, El Trumpo, started talking about today? Started talking about gold and Fort Knox and the audit again. They're bringing that up again. Is there gold there? How much is there? Is it encumbered? In other words, is it leased out, loaned out, borrowed on paper? How many times has it been rehypothecated? And on top of all that, you see, to use gold to settle trade, trade balances, you have to have them in the proper weight and the proper purity so that they are a good delivery bar. The United States gold that was last audited in the 1950s, properly audited. In the 1950s, that gold was mostly coin melt. Because in 1932, President FDR asked for everyone to turn their gold in. And many people did. And they melted those bars down, or coins down. Now, the deal is those coins were essentially 22 karat. They're 92% and mixed with about 8% copper. Still a whole ounce of gold, but added copper to give it durability. So they just melted those down. Those gold bars have copper in them. So if you've got a bar that weighs 400 ounces, well, about 30 of those ounces are going to be copper. So they need to refine it, purify it, melt it, cast it into bars, stamp them, serial number them. So even if the U.S. has the gold, there's going to be some questions about, can we pay our debts with it? If the world is going to this trade settlement in gold, because that way you don't have to rely on a country like America, the U.S. or the European euro, for them that they will pay, that they won't freeze your account, and that the material is of the quality it's supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, the bars that are there, even if they are, it's coin melt. Those bars still have to be assayed. They have to be weighed, and they have to be drilled. Not all of them, but enough to prove that they're solid. They're not tungsten-filled or lead-filled gold bars. There is so much to going back over to the gold standard. It was really easy to go, no more gold. Let's just print some paper. That'll be fine. And that's what they did. Well, now we got to go from fantasy paper back to reality bars. Now, whether you do silver or gold, both are constitutional money. Both are minted by our government, literally minted by our government. But I bought gold and silver products since 2016, the end of 2016, from APMEX, APMEX.com. I bought it from Miles Franklin, which is Andy Scheckman. He does a lot of YouTube videos, and also SD Bullion. And SD Bullion has proven to me that when I make sure clients and family get their gold and silver, they go there first and foremost, make sure their price is good, and usually they are the lowest, and they process everything the fastest. I like Andy Scheckman's company, Miles Franklin. He's a very informative, good guy. They just take a while to get you what you've ordered. You got to wait till everything clears, and then it's just they're a little slower than SD Bullion. But SD Bullion, I have found, is the best for me. Okay. And here we are. Anyways, thank you, Jolene, for putting this stuff up. The Prepared Mother, she's the blue wrench of the night. And so we've got that covered. I want to do some more housekeeping while we get stacked up. It's your show. I'm going to get to your questions. I've got an entire section of things to talk about. Super chat button right up there. That's how you get on the screen here. But before I go to you guys, I'm going to cover this one as well. I was asked, how do we get antibiotics? How do we get medical supplies? right here. HTTPS blah 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 bit.ly prepper meds. Getting ivermectin, fenbendazole, menbendazole, all the antibiotics. Good golly. Amoxicillin, and just look, go there. This place has it. Like I said, you need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine. That's first aid medicine. It's first aid books. It's books on trauma care, as well as medications. That could be your prescription meds or things that you know you're going to need. You should have a supply of cough medicines, painkillers. You should have a good supply of antibiotic pastes and creams. If you can't get ivermectin proper, get ivermectin paste from places like Tractor Supply Company. I don't like the company, but you can get a lot of it. You can get it off of Amazon. It comes in a tube. It's got a picture of a horsey on it. It says it's apple flavored. It's actually Vaseline flavored, but it's full of ivermectin, and it is the same ivermectin you can get in a pill if you can get it. If you can get it from anywhere, from your doctor or a pharmacy. They cancel shit all the time. All right. If you want to get on the screen and you can't do Super Chat, you can always do PayPal, CashApp, or Venmo. Here is the PayPal link. And Darcy T uses every single week PayPal with a $50 Super Chat. And by the way, Darcy, shoot me your question via email, please. And then the other one, of course, is Venmo. And this week on Venmo, I've got Big Chin Music. He did a $52.23. So he did a $50 Super Chat plus a 223. And that is just great. Now, he's a lot like me. He gets a little hot under the collar. I'm going to tell you what he said and what he wants to share. An interaction with the general public. So before we do that, share that internet address up there to get them to the video you're watching. Text message, email, phone call, smoke signals, carrier pigeon, right? Whatever it takes, wake people up. At this point, if you think you know half of it, great. If you think you know 90% of what's going on in the world, all the better. But unless you, like me, spread the word, what good does it do? Like this whole Israeli thing. Who are the Israelis, the Zionists? What religion do they believe? You know, how much are they really our ally? I've known all these things since the 90s. And I had to sit on it. And sit on it. And sit on it. And sit on it. And sit on it. Why? Because no one else cared. No one else saw it. No one was waking up. I found this stuff on the internet, right? The Chabad Lubavitch, Talmudic Judaism, which is a whole lot different than the Torah Jews. They're actual Semites. The people in charge of Israel are not Semites. They don't like that they're being exposed. But now people are waking up, so I'm able to share the information, and other people are waking up, and that's how we do it. You got to share the internet address and wake people up. Now, I want to, I've got this $52.23 Super Chat from Chin Music, and he is very active publicly, very active politically in his area, and he's very active on the internet, trying to talk to people and wake them up. So he shared with me something that's going on. So he was trying to make the point about AIPAC, which is the America Israeli Pedophile Action Committee. That's my name for them, because they're protecting pedophiles, and they are purchasing and buying congressmen, senators, the presidency, all the lobbyists. They control them with money, and then they control them with blackmail. And we know what blackmail form that is. That's the Epstein variety of blackmail. Imagine how Epstein was just one of their agents, folks. How many more agents are there that control our government? Directly, indirectly, multi-directly. How many more other groups like Epstein's group are there that lure the rich, the powerful, the influential, and drag them to an island and abuse children up to and including satanic sacrifice and eating children. And they're controlled. Epstein was just one. The FBI is withholding the Epstein files. How many other things are there out there that the FBI doesn't have? Or they have and they're not saying anything about? Has anyone subpoenaed all their other major pedophile networks? No. I don't think anyone's really paid that much attention, but I'm thinking about it. In any event, someone was engaged with Chin Music online, and this is what he had to say in response to someone talking about getting laws and rules passed. So Chin Music writes, tell them their Israeli donors want it passed and it will happen yesterday. Basically saying, look, AIPAC controls the politicians. You want something passed? Go talk to them. So some jackass named Ted CA writes, your mask is slipping, Judenhasser, which means Jew hater, right? So Chin Music, never backing down from a fight, says, while you're at it, call me a bigot, homophobe, racist, and the rest of the victimhood lexicon that doesn't apply here, right? That's some elementary school level emotional nonsense, right? So Ted CA wants to respond some more. He says, not my problem if you lack the courage of your convictions. I'm going to call a timeout. If there's, all of you are waking, are awake, have been awake, are helping others, it takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing right now, watching this video and considering the information. I don't want you to believe me because I say so. I tell you, go look at the Talmud for Antichrist, evil shit about killing Goyim, white people, and raping children and how that's just fine. Look it up. All anti-whiteism, all anti-white period is coming out of these people. They're pushing for a mongrel race that is completely mixed racially. They want to destroy the white race. They hate us. They want their revenge. Oh, it's going to get nasty, folks. So I know that Chin Music has courage of his convictions. The man wears shirts that say things like, just how about this one? Liberals are retarded, right? He'll wear that in public. No one's going to fuck with this guy because he does have the courage of his convictions. Now, so he responds to this TED jackass. He says, I'm not an anti-Semite. Do you even know what a Semite is? I just don't like the Israeli government. If I didn't like Italy's government, would that make you call me an anti-Catholic? Doubt it. Yeah, I get it. It's just a way to try and guilt people. So Chin Music sends me another text. He says, I'm so fucking sick of being called anti-Semite. I shared one exchange with you by text. You can show if you want. I cannot stand the fact that we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot on behalf of another country whose people believe they're supposed to support because their pastor, their Christian pastor, is paid to lie to them every Sunday. The one I sent you is from a gay Republican in San Francisco. I'm no longer a Republican. I am a freedom first, America first, independent. We are on our own. As I was saying, we, the American people, there's the good, there's the bad, and there's the completely ignorant. They don't know what side is what, right? I am a registered Republican, but the Republicans, they aren't passing anything that helps America in the Senate. They're not passing the SAFE Act. They are not just putting their heads down and fighting like men to get these illegals out of our fucking country. Illegals that are murdering and raping and gang attacking, killing, assaulting, thieving. They are corrupt. They are fraudulent. They all need to go. And what's the Republican Party doing? Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. So I am of the belief that you got the left wing, you got the right wing. They're both wings of the same shitbird that has been bought and paid for by a foreign influence. Now, I'm pretty energetic right now. It's because right before the show, I had a big cup of coffee, and this company I like a lot, cafefe.com. Use this link, copy it, paste it, type it out. I don't care. They are an actual patriotic coffee company. They do support the show, unlike the Life Straw people. Cafefe.com sends me coffee. They take care of the show. They sponsor it. I want you to try their coffee. They've got a lot of great different blends. You can buy it online. You can get K-cups. You can get the little bags of ground. Delicious. I've got one hell of a nice, let's call it a stash in my SHTF thing. Okay. There we go. So, no Uman tonight. We do have the prepared mother, and I appreciate her spending her time. I appreciate you coming here. We've got a lot to talk about. So I covered Chin Music and his material. I'm going to get Darcy T somewhere. I need to hear from Darcy T. She knows how to get a hold of me. And then we're going to go and just take a look at this. We got a $2 super chat from Drinks a Lot of Beer. Drinks a lot to beer. There it is. $2. Thank you, sir. Every penny, every dollar helps keep the channel going. Keeps the channel going. It's been your channel from day one. I remember starting this channel with no subscribers back in 2013, December. Started. I'm like, I got to talk to people. I've got to wake them up. And we've been here ever since. And we grew to 50, then 100, then 500, then the first 1,000. Right? It took a little time, but then we built momentum. We built up to 80,000 on one of the Prepared Mind channels. And it's always because of the work you guys do sharing the internet address. YouTube's never liked us. When they actually allow things to go up naturally, like in August of 2021, we gained 10,000 subscribers in 1 month. Pushed us from 70,000 up to 80. And ever since then, all they've done is slowly push us down. We're back down just below 80,000 on one channel. The other channel, we've got over 5,000 and growing there. And that's the channel where you can do the Prepared Mind super chats and get your questions, your thoughts, your comments on here. It's your show. Now, I'm going to go from now. It is 6:22 till 8 o'clock Eastern time or longer. It just depends on what you guys want to talk about. So the buttons up there, super chat buttons up there, or Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and those are all listed down in the description. So let's get into it, shall we? One of the big topics as of late is these data centers. So since the early 90s, I've been in construction, and after being in it professionally, becoming a general contractor, and then developing rural as well as municipal city property, I could say I'm a developer and contractor by trade, right? If you want a permit to build your own house or have a contractor build your house, that's going to take anywhere from 4 months to 2 years to get your plans done, to get an architect, an engineer, to get it to the city through the planning department, all that shit, right? Just say 6 months. Now, if your constitutional rights have been violated, well, you're going to have to go to a bunch of court fights, right, to reaffirm your constitutional rights that were stripped by a local, a state, or even the federal government. That takes 10, 15 years. But if you need an approval for a massive data center to store the records, the videos, the phone conversations, the emails, the texts, every waking moment of everyone in your area, your city, your state, right? It takes just one meeting and it's done. That sounds about right in 2026. Your rights are violated. You got to fight for 15 years. These massive corporations like, hey, Mark Zuckerberg, right? Meta, Google, Palantir, these companies, and folks, they're not data centers. They are command and control, 1984 You've got no privacy. They will track you everywhere. They will store that information and use AI as a predictive model so they can come and arrest you anytime they want and say, hey, we know you're going to commit a crime. We know who you're talking to. We know where you're driving around. We know what you're looking at. We know what you're doing. You have zero privacy. And they're following you around with computer technology saying, we're not doing it. It's the computer's doing it, making excuses. Trust me on this. They're going to move from calling them data centers and they're going to start pre-crime. You know, you don't have to believe anything except one thing you have to believe. You know what that one thing is? The Holocaust. You can deny any historical event in the world. You can put down any event, any topic, any supporting evidence for or against any idea, except the Holocaust. The supposed alleged murder, extermination, and killing of 6 million Jews in World War II by the Germans. How come we have to believe that? If it's real, if it really happened, then why are people arrested for talking about it, bringing it up, asking, show us the evidence? Right, like the Zyklon B gas that they were supposedly poisoned with in the showers, it's explosive. But the light bulbs that they had in that room are not sealed. They're not insulated. So if they get hot, you get a little spark, those rooms should have exploded. The doors are wooden. There's no seal on them. They're not hermetically sealed. That gas would have leaked out and killed fucking Germans. The chimney for the supposed oven that's there for cooking humans into ashes was added after World War II by the Soviet Union. This is Auschwitz in Poland right now. That's one everyone's most familiar with. Auschwitz, right? There's too many lies, too many secrets that they hide. So if you question them in any other country around the world, you can get a ticket, you can get arrested, you can be thrown in jail for disagreeing with a lie that even people with PhDs, master degrees, college degrees have researched this and said it's all bullshit. The Germans didn't have enough time, they didn't have enough ovens, they didn't have enough resources, they didn't have people to do what they're saying. Plus the sites are all wrong, the ovens are wrong, the showers are wrong. But how come these people in these concentration camps had swimming pools? They were having babies. They were having family. Yeah, I get it. They're prison camps, but they weren't just lining them up and killing them and putting them in ovens, right? Anne Frank's diary. You know, Anne Frank was supposed to be the Jewish girl who hid in the floorboards in the Netherlands, or I believe it was the Netherlands, right? She wrote her diaries with a ballpoint pen. The only problem with that is the ballpoint pen wasn't invented for a decade after World War II. So what happened? Did Netanyahu get in a time machine and go back and hand it to her and say, this is a reliable writing instrument. Please use this when you write your diary? Anne Frank's sister said it's bullshit. I don't know if it was the 50th anniversary or the 75th anniversary, whatever it was. She came out and says bullshit. I think it was the 50th anniversary. In any event, let's get into the show some more. Darcy T, who is here every single week, taking good care of the show, providing good content for us to discuss. Once again, this is your show. Sunday Night Live especially. I already know all this stuff. I already pay attention to it. The only reason I'm here is to make sure we get the information out there to you guys. That's why I want you to share the internet address. I want you to give this video a thumbs up, because that does tell YouTube this content is appreciated. It is wanted. It is needed, for fuck's sake. Now, Darcy T says that she was thinking about the data centers and the amount of computing power that is being built, the level of AI surveillance, she caught on, and actions that it will be capable of will be off the chain. It will be a global panopticon. It is the infrastructure for the mark of the beast. You cannot buy or sell without it. Even if people are not Christian, they need to be very concerned. Well, the beast doesn't give a shit if you're Christian or not. Doesn't give a shit about you at all. Unless you're one of them, unless you're in the big club, you are done. And even if you're in the big club, folks, I mean, there's been people who were in the big club and then they got kicked out of the club, which is usually a death sentence. Death sentence. I don't know. Ask Lady Di. She thought she was in the big club, but you know, you seen the guy who looks like Prince Harry's dad? No, it ain't Prince Charles, who is now King Charles, right? Who else is in the big club that disappeared? How about Seth Rich, who discovered all the dirt that was being done by the Democrat Party? He was a Democrat, Seth Rich was. One of the most famous photos of him is wearing a pair of shorts and a shirt that's red, white, and blue, American flag style. You know, I have no doubts that he was a decent fellow who didn't like seeing the criminality of his political party. He was going to go a whistleblower, and they killed him. Yeah. Whistleblowers. It used to be a good thing to go, I caught you, government. And the media would be able to protect them, and the government couldn't do anything. Now they'll throw your ass in fucking jail. That's what they'll do. Anyways, Darcy, the $50 super chat to PayPal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yes, this is not just an American problem. It is a global issue, these data centers. Remember when we were told we're running out of energy, we're running out of oil, fossil fuels are bad, carbon is bad, everything is bad, human beings are blowing up the earth, they're destroying everything. We got to stop using this energy. Go get some compact fluorescent lights. Go get some LED lights. It's even less power. Go get all of your appliances Energy Star certified. Get the newest, greatest, whizziest, lowest energy consumption stuff to save the world. Then they come out with these fucking data centers. And what do? They're putting one in Utah. Now, Utah is not the most populous state, but just one data center in Utah is going to consume twice the energy of everyone, everything, every business in the entire fucking state of Utah. That's how big this data center is. How much computing power do you need? Artificial intelligence or regular processors does not matter. What are they going to do with this fucking data? Like if they knew everything about me starting from 2020, COVID. John said it's a shitting in the fan moment back in March of 2020. He said, that's it. He cracked a beer, smoked his last, SHTF cigar and said, that's it. Where are they going to go with that? What are they going to do? Are they scanning all my emails? Are they looking at all of my purchases online? Are they looking at all my credit card purchases? Are they following me around, seeing where I shop, where I go, what I think, who I'm talking to? Yeah, they're able to do all of that now. But they're going to make you and me and all of us pay the electric bill for these places. Did you know that? We, as ratepayers with utility companies, we're paying for their line install. We're subsidizing the cost of their power that they consume. There's a shortage of power, and we're putting in AI data centers. There's a shortage of power, so the cost of our power goes up. Mine is over doubled. And folks, I live in the bunker. It is a small living place. Why should my power go up double? I haven't done anything fucking different. Well, I'll tell you why. Because we're running out of power, and they think that that's a fine way to fucking charge us. Now, in California, before I even left there back in 2020, because that's when I left California, we were having rolling blackouts. There wasn't enough power for California. And then they pushed all the EVs, electric vehicles. How are you supposed to charge a car if you got a blackout? You can't go anywhere. You're done. And now we're doing AI data centers, which consume not megawatts, not even gigawatts. They consume terawatts, massive amounts of power, city-sized consumptions of power. And then they use your water. You were told by Nestle, you were told by the World Economic Forum, you were told by your own government, you don't have a right to water. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what government does, is secure public resources for public distribution. In other words, as an American, you fucking owe me my water. I have to pay for it, no doubt. But now they're saying, well, that's not a water. You don't have a right to it. They're trying to privatize and give it to fucking Nestle or Coca-Cola or some other beverage company that's owned by what? BlackRock and fucking Larry Fink, the flunk, right? JP Morgan, they all own our shit. Anyways, these data centers, they don't just use water to cool themselves down. They consume it. They pollute it, then they discharge it. Yeah, AI data center. Do you think, like my computer, your computer, it's just sitting there. It's not hurting anyone. These people consume so much power, they got to cool their shit down. They use our water, pollute it, then spit it the fuck back out. So if you're even able to get water in these areas, it is now showing up polluted and shitty. Streams are getting polluted. I thought we're supposed to love the earth and knock off energy consumption. What the fuck are they doing? Energy consumption through the roof. Environment, fuck it, we don't care. Get your permit, no time at all. And then what do they do with the data? Do you think they're going to like me or Chin Music or Darcy T? Do you think they're going to like you? Go ahead, put your head back under a fucking rock. Put it in the fucking sand. Put it in your ass. They're still going to find you and control you and punish you. Well, John, there's no reason for them to punish me. Right. There's no reason to bomb schools in Iran, but they're doing it. There's no reason to blow up churches and schools and cities and private residences in Lebanon, but Israel's doing it. There's no reason, but they're doing it anyway. So there must be a reason that doesn't look at borders or ethnicity or law and order. It is, they are the rich people, World Economic Forum, banking cartels, investment cartels, Israeli controlled cartels, the mafia. We may as well just start calling them the Jewish mafia, because that's what they are, out of Israel. And all of these people subscribe to that belief system that they're superior and therefore everyone else can die. This weekend, I watched the movie Elysium. Elysiam. Elysium. There you go. Something like that. Anyways, stars Matt Damon. He's just a regular dude in a really fucked up world, while the rich people get basically eternal life, perfect health, because their stuff. They've created, Elysium means heaven, by the way. It's another word for heaven. I think it's Greek. Elysium is a huge space station that floats in low Earth orbit. And what they get there is clean air, perfect health, water, trees, everything else, and a beautiful view of the Earth and the sun and all this happy shit, right? But that's what's going on. They create for themselves heaven and benefits while the people on Earth are suffering from starvation, poor health, slave wages, slavery, if you're even allowed to live. And guess what they've got in the movie? They had some cool shit. When that movie came out, they didn't have drones like we have, toy drones. In the movie, they got real drones that'll follow you around and use facial recognition. Movie hit it before its time. At one point, the guy like slaps an AirPod on the guy so he can track him. The movie was made 15 fucking years ago. AirPods only came out a few years ago. Little tracking device, AirPod, little tiny thing, beep, right? All kinds of shit. Back then, they were talking about exoskeletons to make super soldiers. That was in the movie. But it's an incredible movie about how fucked we are. It's a good watch. It's not boring. It is a man movie. It's got a lot of action in it, but it's about saving humanity from the rich elites that think they're fucking better than all of us. Understand, folks. Doesn't matter whether you're Christian or not. These people are evil. They worship Satan literally. Whether you want to call him Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Azazel, Baal, Moloch, it doesn't matter what you call them. If they want to sacrifice children, hunt them, eat them, rape them, kill us, that's evil. All right, let us move on. It's your show. Super chat button right up there. We've got a good crowd going. Please share that internet address. Let's see, email, text, phone call, any messenger service that's social media. All right, let's see. We've got drinks a lot of beer. $5 super chat. That's 2. He says, according to YouTube, I've been subscribed since December 7th, 2013. Just keep on a keeping. Well, I could have sworn it was December 13th or December. No, wait. It was December of 2013. I knew it was early December 2013. And sounds like you, drinks a lot of beer, have been here that long. That is fucking amazing. The first one to contact me was Red October. I haven't seen him on here in a while. I don't know what Red's been up to. Life has been just crazy, as you and I know. Since shit at the fan, it is hard to keep up with everything. But by us all being here, having someplace, YouTube, thepreparedmind.club, take your pick. As long as we're talking to each other, informing each other, understanding, sharing it with others, waking people up, you're doing the right thing. Being asleep, well, I don't know, ignorance is bliss until someone shows up at your door, says they're going to stamp a chip behind your ear, in your hand, in your forehead, in your anus. It doesn't matter. They own you. How about the next? I almost would have called it a pandemic, staged medical emergency on a global scale. I don't know what you want to call it, but drinks a lot of beer. Thank you. Your super chat got you here. You are now world famous. There will be, by the time this video is done, thousands of people will have watched this across a multitude of social media platforms and networks. Thank you. Drinks a lot of beer. And we're going to continue here. Let's do this. Put that up there just for now. Okay. Well, before I go back to that, Northern Hillbilly says, they tell us everything in movies, and Skynet is Palantir. Okay, it's very briefly. They tell us in the news conferences, Trump has told us he's a Judas. He is a traitor. He's told us he's Jewish. He's told us what he's doing to us. He's told us, I don't need you. I don't care. I don't want your help. Shut up. You're all fucking retarded. He says of our problems with inflation, he doesn't care. So what? It's not a big deal to him. It isn't. What the fuck does he care? He is now dying of some disease, and I don't know what it is. He's falling apart and falling apart fast. He's fallen asleep everywhere. He used to make fun of Joe Biden as Sleepy Joe. But did he catch a disease from eating kids? I don't fucking know. What I do know is they tell us everything in news briefs. They lie right to our face, and you can see it. But movies. Music, folks. There's a lot of stuff in music. Michael Jackson, believe it or not, tried revealing a lot of information through music. Music videos, when they used to make them. They quit making rock and roll because too much was getting out. But movies is the big one. And this reference to Skynet is the artificial intelligence computer system that gained consciousness in the Terminator movie. It was hooked into everything, military, government, private. It went right to the military, right to the missiles, and launched and started a nuclear war to kill off humanity. And then it went on a robot massacre of human life in that movie. So we have this Palantir. Palantir is an AI data gathering company, 100% Israeli controlled. And the owner of it, the guy, or at least their spokesman, is this wire-haired fucking fruitcake who can't sit in a chair and calmly explain everything. He literally bounces up and down like he's sitting on a fucking dildo on high. And he just talks about how, we can kill people. We'll do whatever we want. In fact, that's a good thing to be killing people. They just come right out and say murder's their fucking game. Palantir is going to be in control of what? I believe the U.S. Pentagon has signed a deal with Palantir, these fucking people should be kicked out of our country. They should be defunded. They're a bigger threat to us, Americans, than Iran ever was. And we're supposed to be afraid of Iran. I'm waiting for Iran to hit the United States of America with a missile. Hasn't happened. Anyways, years ago, and I'm the prophet of prepping. I'm not a religious prophet, but I am a teacher about prepping. I am a forecaster of the need to prep. That is my thing. I have been prepping since 1984 of all fucking years, right? I was in grade school. I started prepping. Rambo, the movie, came out, saw that, thought, well, shit, that's what government does bad. I need to get prepared. Well, the world's a dangerous place. Nuclear war. I need to get prepared. I need to get prepared and understand how to do things. I'm going to become a jarhead. I need to get prepared. I need to learn how to take care of myself. Auto mechanic, building houses. That's how I got into the construction world. I need to understand law. I went to law school for a couple of years. Never became a lawyer. Never took the bar exam. But I worked in that until I found out how shitty lawyers can be. Got out of that, back into construction. Here we are, folks. Right? A few years back, I started talking about robot law enforcement. And I said, they're going to do it. RoboCop was a great movie showing us what they want and how they can control. That was about actually a cyborg, a hybrid, a biomechanical robot plugged into computers, kind of like Elon Musk's Neuralink that he wants to do, which also featured in the movie Elysium. Everyone's brains had a hookup into it, even the super elite. So anyways, back to robots, Terminators. We have 4-legged Terminator dogs. We have 2-legged bipedal robotic creatures now. You got flying drones that fly low. You've got drones that can spend hours at a time, the larger ones. They don't need humans to police us. They don't need humans to fight wars. They just send missiles now. Missiles here, missiles there, drones here, drones there. They're a lot cheaper. They're easy to reproduce. They can be hooked into internet anywhere through cell towers. They can be artificial intelligence or artificial intelligence program. They don't need us. The super elite Palantir, World Economic Forum, Illuminati scumbags. They're moving to get away from cops and armies and just use robots and drones to come after me and you and keep us in line. And that was the fact in Elysium. The very best killers, of course, were humans. That way we could hate them more. But they had lots of robot military, robot police, robot judges making people's lives a miserable fucking hell because that was their program. That was their program. In any event, thank you, Northern Hillbilly. Appreciate that very much. It is your show, folks. It is Sunday Night Live. Let's go over to RM125 Hooligan with a $4.99 super chat. And he says, what's the best way to camouflage yourself from thermal drone? I've heard tarp with a reflective blanket. Okay. There are emergency blankets for sale. I have probably 20 to 30 of them. They're not huge. They're maybe 6 foot by 4 foot wide. They're Mylar, which is plastic with a reflective coating on them. And what we're supposed to do in the event of you need to hide from thermal heat signature recognition by a drone or a satellite or a plane or someone on the ground. Literally someone on the ground, right? We have thermal night vision. It works in the day too, by the way, but it's thermal instead of using light. It sees heat. Kind of like the Predator from the Predator movie in the 80s. That's now available for you and me. You can buy that and put it on your rifle. You can just have a monocular or a binocular. They make it now. So how do you stop them from seeing you because you're 98 degrees or hotter and the surrounding area, it could be 90 degrees or 80 degrees or 60 degrees, whatever the temperature is, unless it's the same as you, they can see you. You stand out like a sore thumb. You are a red and yellow or orange object in a green and blue world. when you look at thermal imaging. So drones can find you, follow you, target you, drop grenades on you, just notify ground forces, whether they're human police or robotic police. They can target you with a fucking missile. So how do you camouflage yourself from that? Well, the thinking all along has been you need to hide your signature. So the Mylar space blanket or rescue blanket or survival blanket, which isn't a blanket, it's literally thick plastic with a reflective coating. You fix that, tape that, glue that to the underside of a tarp. You get a tarp, say, 12 foot by 12 foot. That way, if you're tall like me, it drapes on every side of you down to the ground, and it hides your feet, hides your legs, hides your heat. Now, is it perfect? No. Will it be effective enough to hide you? Quite possibly. I haven't been in contact with anyone on the front lines in Ukraine because there are a bunch of fucking Nazis fighting that battle. I don't know if it works or not based on current, war fighting. On the Russian side, I don't know any Russians. I know just a few people who speak Russian, but I don't know any Russians. I don't know what they're using. But I have, like I said, 20 to 30 of those space blankets. And that's exactly what I intend to do with them. Now, the reason you want them under taped in a tarp is hopefully your tarp is green, can be camouflaged with leaves and sticks and debris. Once again, it's more weight, more difficulty, right? But it helps hide you from people who are just using their eyeballs. So there's camouflage visual, then there's camouflage from a heat signature. Look into this. Now, I'm sure there are people on the internet who have done videos where they've made it a reflective blanket camouflage covering, kind of like a camouflage ghillie suit, but with the heat signature hiding. I've done my research, folks. You need to do yours. Look into it, because if we can buy thermal vision goggles, you can see if it works or not, how well it works. Now, the problem is now you're under a tarp with a Mylar blanket, space blanket designed to keep you warm in freezing temperatures. You're going to get extra hot under this blanket, under this camouflage system. It's going to make it difficult to go long distances, far and fast, because you're going to overheat. Make sure you got plenty of water, stay hydrated. Another thing I think everyone needs to get into your SHTF supplies is lots of rehydration packets. Water important, right? As stated, water filtration. But you're going to need to replace the minerals that you sweat out. So I recommend strongly you get that, whether it's Liquid IV or any of these other brands. Try and find it in bulk. And perhaps, if we're really lucky, we can get Jolene to get some in bulk and put it at thepreparedmind.club, and we can put it up here the same way we did Jace Medical, the same way we did Precious Metals or coffee or PayPal, right? We'll get an address. We'll get the product. That's the idea. I want to get it done. Anyways, RM Hooligan, I appreciate the great support. Have a great evening. Let's move on to the next if we can. Very quickly, Yankee Watchdog says, Red has been perfecting his knife throwing. That's Red October. He has been throwing knives for a long time. I didn't know if he's still doing it or what he's up to, but he was getting fucking nasty with the knife. All right. Courageous Cat checking in. Not even a meow, but a $20 super chat donation. And that makes sure that I have, Spam, tuna fish, and of course, the appropriate beverages. The reason I'm not drinking any scotch this evening is trying to protect my voice, trying to recover still and get my health back. But last Sunday, we tied one on together. So anyone does a $50 super chat, we'll just need to remember next week you can punish me and I'll be good for it. Anyways, Courageous Cat, thank you for your great support. always participating Monday through Friday, because she and many others are premium subscribers on the preparedmind.club. Once again, preparedmind.club. It's just our channel. It's a channel for shopping. And we don't warehouse anything. It's links that take you elsewhere, but again, medications. This is important. Get your medications, food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, right? And then self-defense. We have self-defense items too, but meds, that is the direct link to get meds from Jace Medical. I've got an entire section in the bunker of meds because I'm not playing around with these fucking people. All right, we're moving on to Viking with a $10 super chat. And I hope things are well in the Great White North, brother. And he says, my main concern about the hantavirus is the World Cup soccer being imported in this summer. Strange how that works. Well, yeah. Everything is strange, right? Everything is strange. Okay. Let me take care of that message there from Jolene. Okay. And then back over to here. Okay. The hantavirus. In the 1990s, I learned about hantavirus. It was, I think, initially discovered in the Southwest. People were digging around. Then it was tied to mouse droppings, rat turds. Right? It was said to live, a hantavirus, in mouse turds. And then the X-Files, that very famous alien show, talked about hantavirus being a gift from the aliens trying to kill us all, but it never went anywhere. In other words, you wouldn't believe all the shit I've read today about people that are like, as a kid, we crawled around under the house, in the woods, we'd find rats' nests, there's shit everywhere. They get in the barn. Hey, if any of you have had horses or any livestock and you've got oat hay or wheat hay, you know what mice do. They chew and burrow their way into the bales to eat all the kernels, the corn, right? The seeds of the oats and the wheat and whatever you got. And they piss everywhere and they shit everywhere. It's a mess. And we, as kids, we play in it. We run around. You jump on the hay. No one got hantavirus. Now, they are saying that it was on that ship that left Africa, did a little cruise, came back to Africa. Oh, my God. Right? Terrible thing. And then now we've got a hantavirus on an American cruise ship. All of a sudden, cruise ships. Remember when they did that with the cold, and then they did it with COVID as well? Shut down the cruise ship industry. Whoops-a-daisy. Yep. And also, folks, now they have the Novovirus. If that's what I think it is, it's just another interesting way to spell new. Nuevo. Nova Scotia, New Scotland. Novovirus, a new virus. Oh, no. Right, here's another one. COVID-19. Oh, that sounds so scary. No, it's COVID. Corona virus, cold virus 2019. COVID-19 was the common cold of 2019. There was no flu. There was no cold deaths the whole fucking year. Look at the flu mortality charts. 2020, no one died of the flu, but everybody died of the COVID. The reason COVID killed so many people was respirators and the drugs they were giving people and the treatment they were getting in the hospital, because they got more money for people being in the hospital. If anyone died of COVID in the hospital, they got even more money. But I'll tell you what, the hantavirus is not a person to person. It's not communicable that way. It's communicated through rat shit. Rat shit, not person to person. So how is it that a ship takes off? During the voyage, people get sick, lots of them. Of course, they put them off on the land and then send them out to airports. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. You got people in these plastic bubble suits. They look like Dr. Evil. They look like the idiots for COVID that were wearing plastic suits with little air pumpers that pumped virus-filled air into their thing, right? Anyways, they got people in these suits again, cleaning stuff off the ship. Meanwhile, standing right next to them are law enforcement with no mask, no special suits, no protective gear, walking around with these other people who are in the man in the plastic bubbles. It's fucking ridiculous. But it's not supposed to go from person to person. So how is it going? How is that possible? Surprise, surprise, surprise. One of the ingredients of the COVID-19, the Jim Jones juice injection, one of the ingredients, hantavirus. Why the fuck would you put hantavirus into a vaccine? It's one of the ingredients, one of them. HIV also. I sure hope if any of you got it, you've detoxed your body, flushed it out, killed the spike proteins, built your immunities, make sure you're strong. And people who got the shot and got booster after booster after booster, guess what they've done? If they put HIV into you, as well as hantavirus and God knows what else, on top of the mercury, on top of other carcinogens, cancer-causing ingredients that they fucking injected people with, mRNA. mRNA reprograms your cells to produce their spike protein, which creates mad cow disease type effects. Why are people so fucking retarded now? Why can't they think? Why can't they process information? Why can't they remember anything? Why don't they know who the fuck they are? Why don't they shut up? Why are they so angry all the time? For no reason. They just explode. They're beating people violently. Why? Well, their brains are getting chewed up. They're getting blocked by microstrokes. They're having health problems. Who's going to die from hantavirus? Who's going to catch it? People who have had their immune systems compromised by taking these fucking vaccines that are loaded with mRNA, RNA, DNA, viruses, junk, mercury, poisons, fucking plant killers. Nothing in there says vaccine. It's just junk. That's who's going to die. They're saying now hantavirus has a 25 to 35% mortality rate. Folks, that's higher than Ebola in Africa, where there's no real good medicine, where there's not great health for the wonderful people of Africa. It's just not available. But Hanta in first world countries with allegedly good diets, good health, good water, good medicine, we're going to die, 25, 35% of the population. Who do you think is going to die? Who do you think is going to die? People who got the Jim Jones juice and the boosters and have never detoxed themselves, and their immune systems have been beaten down. People are still falling over dead all the time from the Jim Jones juice. They're still dying. They're still getting cancer. Colon cancer is a big one. Colon polyps, colon cancer in young people, all the way down to children under the age of 10 are getting colon cancer because of the Jim Jones juice. Not to mention myocarditis, pericarditis, strokes, blood clots, heart disease, clogged arteries. Folks, they're trying to fucking kill us. Thank you very much, Viking. I appreciate the topic. Now my blood is boiling. Strange. Yeah. Then let's go to World Cup soccer. The reason that's a big deal is World Cup soccer brings people from every country and flies them around. Every little tiny country, folks, has a national soccer team, at least one, and it's like a religion, soccer, aka football, because they kick the ball with their foot, right? Every little island in the Caribbean, every nation in Africa, every nation in Europe, they're going to continue to spin this as how it's being spread. We need to stop travel again. No more traveling out of country. You need a pass. You need a shot. You need a card. You need permission. You can't drive to another city. You can't drive to another state. You can't go to another country. You can't go on vacation. Lockdown, 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 lockdown. They are trying to build the momentum for that. The best way for you to avoid that is to fight them right now. Fight them. Fight them. Write your local politician, your state politician, your federal elected representatives in Congress, in the Senate. Because, they'll help us out. Here we got David on the Bayou. He's contacted. There's a super chat button right up here, folks. You can get here just like David and Viking and Courageous Cat, right? Everyone. It's your show. So David says, been following you since 2017. Some may think you have recently gone hard right. But I remember watching your vids on the Illuminati globalists where you called out our greatest ally bullshit back then. Now, I appreciate the support. I'm glad you've been here so long, David, but understand this. Hard right. They like to say, oh, if you're hard right, you're a fascist, and if you're hard left, you're a communist. Where is the freedom between the hard right and the hard left? There is no freedom if you've got social fascism versus social communism. Neither of those have anything to do with freedom. They're both totalitarian socialist government systems, except one allows rich people to keep their money, and that's social fascism. And that is being practiced by social communist China. It is a better business model that promotes growth, but it also promotes corruption and government corporate interaction that doesn't even give a fuck about the people. Okay, that's the problem with fascism. Communism is the government keeps everything and there's no incentive. There's no middle class, no incentive, no one gives a shit. It just dies on the vine. So that's why social fascism is the more sustainable, we'll use that word, sustainable political authoritarian government. So you've got social communism, far, far, far left of your screen. Right next to it is social fascism, saying, we'll let you have a middle class while the rich people screw everyone. I am neither far left or far right, if that's their far left or far right. I am way over here. Whoop! Full freedom. I am independent. I am anti-government because I want less government. I'm not anti-government. I'm less government. Government has very few roles to play. Now, some recently do think I've gone, oh my God, John's talking about the Jews. He's talking about Israel. We can't have that. I want to listen to that. La, 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 la. John, bad. Why am I bad? Israel, the nation of Israel, with its leader, Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu, has forced the hand of President Trump because they are blackmailing him with the Epstein files. And they have sent our warships hundreds of billions of dollars in aircraft carriers, submarines, jets, bombers, destroyers, troop carriers, frigates, fuckets, everything Navy is over there. They want to send our Marines there. They want to send our soldiers there. They want to send the Air Force there. Everything, right? Our entire our military is $1 trillion a year or more to maintain. And it's all over there right now fighting because Israel says Iran wants to make a nuke. And they're just a few weeks or months away, but they've been saying that, literally, Israel and Bibi Netanyahu, since the 1980s. Okay? Since the 1980s. How am I bad? How am I dangerously far right for pointing out our supposed greatest ally is using financial and bribery and extortion controls on our politicians? How many politicians in Washington, D.C., either the Senate or the House, are screaming, get our troops back here? We don't need to be over there fighting. You want to know why both Democrats and Republicans are supporting this war? because 95% or more of them are getting money from the America-Israeli Pedophile Action Committee, the political action committee for Israel. They aren't even listed as a foreign agent. They're not registered as a foreign agent, and they should be, because that money that we send billions of dollars every fucking year to Israel, why? For what? What do they do for us? Besides start wars in fucking Syria and Iraq and Iran all over the place, and then they want to drag us into it. They bomb our fucking ship, the USS Liberty, and then they don't apologize. They're like, oh, that doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Well, your Holocaust, right? They lie about the Holocaust. They use that as blackmail and extortion. They have the Epstein files that they use as blackmail and extortion. They control everything. They believe having sex with children is fine. Oh, yeah. Read the Talmud. And yes, you are absolutely correct. I used to drop hints about the Talmud. Just go read it. Find the sections that talk about non-Jews, goy or goyim. We are to them cattle. We are animals. We are fit only to be slaves. They can kill us, murder us. They can lie to us. They can commit fraud. It doesn't matter because we're animals and they're God's chosen, they say. I have the same problem with hardcore Muslims and their Quran, which says lie, cheat, steal, murder, kill, rape, doesn't fucking matter because you're superior because of a goat herder who married a 9-year-old girl in the year 650 AD, 1,400 years ago. This fucking guy is a pedophile, marries a 9-year-old girl. His name's Muhammad, and he supposedly had a visit from the Archangel Gabriel, who told him all about the world and how they need to worship God, Allah. So now it's Aloha snack bar, kill everyone, rape everyone, steal everything. Oh, by the way, in the great state of Florida, the lobbying organization that is the American Islamic Organization, CAIR, CAIR, is now illegal. I think the Muslim Brotherhood as well. They cannot do any business. They can't bring in money. They can't support, build, or any way influence things in Florida. Why? Because they're fucking terrorists. Now, if we could just get rid of all the other people who are committing genocide. Oh, I have a little saying here, right? Got a thought. Let me share this with you. I want you to think about this, right? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. 250 years ago, literally, America declared independence from Britain. It's called the Declaration of Independence. We said, you know what? We're tired of you bringing enemies into our lives and trying to kill us, overtaxing us, punishing us, lying about us in court, putting us in prison, destroying our lives, destroying our business, destroying our health, attacking us, raping our women. Right? That's what England was doing. What is Israel doing for us? What are they calling for? White extermination. Draining our wealth out of our country. Using the stock market to fuck people. Charging money, usury for money. Bringing in illegals. Bringing in Muslims. Bringing in people who hate us to kill us. So, I think it's time for America to declare its independence from all foreign governments, banks, corporations, and influence, including and especially Israel, which loves to send our people, and they're still saying it. Folks, they say the fucking words out loud. They say the words out loud. American troops are going to go to war and fight for Israel. They're saying that now. We need to send our troops over and fight on the ground for Israel against Iran. Why? Because we're their slaves. Because they're superior. That's literally what they think. They can totally justify every thought they have because these fucking cowards actually believe they're better than you. Anyways, Dave on the Bayou, thank you for that great super chat donation. And it's your show, folks. What do you want to talk about? Super chat button right up there. Double check, make sure I'm not missing any Venmo, CashApp, or PayPal super chats that are down. Those links are listed in the comment section. Now, back to this whole domestically, if they don't want to have Iran attack us and do a false flag or maybe, a cyber attack on banking, whatever, right? Well, they can just have another pandemic. So the Caribbean Princess cruise ship is the one that has about 100 passengers. Over 100 passengers and crew have the highly contagious norovirus. What they're doing, folks, I don't think there's a norovirus. I think it's bullshit. I mean, maybe people are sick. People get sick on cruise ships all the time. But what they want you to do is ignore the Disney cruise ship. And of course, the people they're arresting on there, people in Hollywood, in the media, they're saying, oh my God, they're going after the illegal aliens. Here's how this works. Every cruise ship that comes to Florida, Texas, fucking Georgia, Mississippi, it doesn't, any of the ports on the Gulf, in Florida, and even the West Coast, California, they sail out of San Diego, Los Angeles, and San Francisco into Pacific destinations. Every ship does not have Americans working on it. You know why? Because those ships, look at the ass end of any of the ships. It'll tell you where its port is, where it makes berth from. Bahamas, anywhere but America. So they don't have to hire Americans, right? They just pay port fees and that's it. So they pay these people shit on these boats. They're all illegals. They're not trying to live in America like the fucking scumbags that were sent in from Africa, the Middle East, the Far East, South America, Central America, Mexico, all the ones that the Democrats blew in and the Republicans are like, we don't see nothing, right? No. So they went and arrested all of these people off of the Disney Cruise Line for being pedophiles. Not because they're illegal, right? They want you to focus on the next pandemic. They want you scared. They want you to obey Fauci. They want you to take the next vaccine. And if you don't, they want you to believe you're going to die. This time, the norovirus or hantavirus, they're going to claim it's 100% deadly. Well, a mortality rate of 25, 30, 35%. But I believe strongly it's only going to be those who have weakened immune systems that were weakened, destroyed by COVID mRNA that has HIV, Hanta, and other diseases. They have extra DNA, they have extra RNA, they have mRNA. These fucking shots are death shots. Literally, they are death shots. It'll just make people sicker. And that's the deal. Folks, AIDS is not a disease. AIDS is a syndrome. It is autoimmunity deficiency syndrome, AIDS, AIDS. And basically it's a syndrome, meaning your entire immune system is shut down. It hit back in the 80s, the 1980s. At first, we all thought we were going to die. Guess who was involved back in the 1980s with AIDS and HIV and the AIDS cures and the AIDS treatments? Oh, yes, Dr. Fauci. They tried scaring us that we can all get it. No, it's an immune deficiency syndrome, meaning your system is shut down. So who are the people affected by it? Hypodermic drug users and homosexuals. Hypodermic drug users and homosexuals. So why homosexuals? Because they're butt fucking each other. They're tearing their anuses apart literally and their dicks. And they're transmitting disease into their blood system, fecal disease, fecal matter, fecal infections in their blood systems. And guess what? It burns your immune system up. On top of that, these drug users, intravenous drug users, they are using dirty needles, shared needles, and they're burning their immune system up with, name your drug, right? Opioids, they shoot that up. Heroin is the big one, right? You burn up your immune system because you're fucking mainlining. You're shooting fucking nasty drug into your blood constantly. Burns up the system. That's why they're dying. HIV is a dormant monkey virus that doesn't kill you. That's why Magic Johnson isn't dead, even though he's had HIV since, what, the late 80s or early 90s? Well, yeah, he's doing all kinds of treatments. Northern Pike checks in with a $2 super chat donation right up there. Super chat button. He says, enjoy the Matrix till your soul breaks free, John. What's he talking about? The Matrix. Life. Is it a simulation or is it reality? Well, if you're here, sure feels like reality. That's air I'm breathing. But if I stop breathing, my body in this matrix tells me you're running out of air, you're going to die. You better you better keep going, right? So yeah, if you die in the matrix, you die in reality, but your soul breaks free. Your soul gets free. So who's creating the reality we're in? Who is controlling this reality? The super rich, the bankers, the aristocrats, the royals, the people who think they have royal blood. But if you're just a regular person, you convert to Judaism, Talmudic Judaism. You can claim you're a Jew. Now, aren't you on the winning team? There's a lot of Jews saying that. A lot of these Zionist Jews are saying that. Well, just if you don't want to die, convert to Judaism and we'll protect you. Yeah, I trust you fucking clowns. Not a chance. Anyways, my soul will eventually be freed. I think it's a good idea that you all make sure that you are spiritually centered, that you know whose side you're on. Are you on the side of good or evil? Right? Do you have a clear conscience? Is your soul light? Right? Is your heart light as a feather? In other words, do you have personal salvation? Or do you carry the sins of the world as if they're your own? Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, just a little spiritual thought. My sins are not mine. I gave them away. I don't want them. I don't want the guilt. I don't want the weight. I'm here to do good things. And so I do the most good that I can. Well, anyways, enough on that subject. Spirituality, religion, it's rough. It's rough. But we do live in a matrix, a joke world, a clown world. Get this. We've got millions and millions and billions of dollars being stolen. Representative Democrat from the great state of Minnesota, Ilhan Omar, who says she's in America, in Congress, to represent Somalia and the Somali people. These low IQ, inbred, light bulb head motherfuckers. Her name has popped up many, many times. Right? Now, they have this scheme called Feeding Our Future. It has taken in $250 million. And Representative Ilhan Omar is refusing to turn over all the documents to the investigators. I don't know why they just don't arrest her. If you subpoena documents, you have to provide the documents. If you don't, that is contempt of court, and you get a one-way shot to jail. I didn't know that being in Congress made you what? Immune. You get immunity because you're in Congress. You can break whatever law you want. Well, wait a minute. Didn't they kick that Gonzalez guy out of Congress and throw him right in fucking jail? Didn't they arrest Dr. Atlas from Trump's first term because he refused to testify when they said you must? And he said, no. I don't think so. It is a clown world. It is a matrix of sorts. But we can wake people up. Red pill, black pill, whatever you want to call it, right? It was the blue pill, red pill in the movie. But here we are. Here we are now. It's your show. It is Sunday Night Live. Folks, we're at about 90 minutes in. Super chat button right up there. Right up there does what? Well, gets you on the screen down here. And if you need to get prepared, if you need anything, food, water, food, survival food, water purification, right? Survival clothing, survival first aid, medicine, everything you need. Check it out here. You'll start getting some good ideas. You'll see what you're missing, what you need. In the event they hit the light switch off, they pull the plug, they make shit get really nasty. Here, I want to tell you this, right? Senator Dave McCormick is excited about America's energy dominance. President Trump's energy dominance. He says, quote, "We are becoming a huge net energy exporter." What's that mean? America is exporting oil, refined fuels, natural gas, LNG, liquefied. Who the fuck is we? Who exactly is a net exporter? You can just say, "Oh yeah, America." Who? Me? You guys? Are you exporting energy? Or is it ExxonMobil, Arco, Chevron, and other oil companies? They, folks, they are the ones exporting energy out of our country. They are the ones making profits on it. They are the ones paying a little tax to Washington, D.C. to fund and help fund their paychecks. And what do you and I get? We get rising oil and gas prices. Fuck Senator Fuckstick Dave McCormick. We, America, aren't getting shit out of this. We're getting shit on. It's all lies. We're supposed to feel good about America being a net energy exporter. That means that we have more than we can deal with. We have so much energy, we need to sell it elsewhere. But we're not. They're making sure there's a shortage for me and you, and the price goes up. They are betting all over oil. They want oil to be $200 to $300 a barrel, folks. They want it to be $200 to $300 a barrel. What do you think that's going to do to the pump price? But we've got more energy, more oil reserves in the United States of America than any other country on the world. More than Brazil, more than Venezuela, more than China, more than Russia, more than the Middle East. They've always said we've had more, but we're going to use everyone else's first. We can get all the free, cheap oil that we can handle, but they're only pumping enough to sell around the world. They just have to keep the price high enough. So they artificially make sure there's a shortage, and then they sell our oil and make us pay for high prices coming from other countries. And they're like, "Oh, war in Iran. You're going to have to pay more at the pump." While Trump fucking lies, literally, and says, oil, gas is cheaper. No, it's not. I'm seeing prices around the country over $7, over $6, over $5. Wow. Unbelievable. What do you guys want to talk about? This is Sunday Night Live. There will be thousands of people who will have watched this video by the time it's done. We're sitting at over 300 right now on one channel. We've got 2 YouTube channels. We have thepreparedmind.club. We have subscribestar.com. We have X. We have Facebook. We have every social media outlet. Thousands of people. If you've got something to say in the comments, guess what? People will see it and read that and learn. The people that are assholes in there, fuck you. You guys are assholes. All the good people wanting to talk, share, help, great. Thank you. Share the internet address. Wake people up. Do it now. They can start, come back, start the video from the very beginning. If you came in somewhere after the show started, go back to the beginning, take that little red bar and just slide it back over to the beginning. We've covered a lot of ground. We do so every Sunday night. We need to fix the crime problem in this country, my friends. Thumbs up the video. You want to be online live with a question, comment? Hit that super chat button right up there. Kapow! It puts you on the screen. Now, crime. Crime can be stopped. Whether it's these stupid teens. In fact, in the middle of Florida, down south in Tampa, they had one of these teen takeover nights. Well, guess what? The fucking cops showed up and did the right thing. They fucking showed up and started tackling these punks that are running around fighting with each other. They have guns. They're breaking windows on stores. They're terrorizing people. They're looting places. They started arresting these little fuckers. They even had a helicopter flying around spotting them so the cops could get to them. They look like fucking ants and cockroaches scattering when the lights come on. Right? You want crime to stop at the teen level? The illegals running around killing people, raping people, robbing people? You want that to stop? Capital punishment. You want these politicians to stop fucking screwing us over? We need real criminal deterrence. Even the people at the top. How many people have been arrested for the Epstein files and being Epstein clients? Zero, none, zilch, zip, nada, niente, none. Nine is German for none, or zero, or none. Anyways, none. But they found an illegal squirrel, Peanut the squirrel. The cops showed up, arrested that fucking squirrel, and executed it. You got ostriches? Oh, we can't have that. Kill them. Chicken farms? Kill them. Hog farms? Kill them. Churches? Burn them. They're now burning Shinto shrines in Japan. All of a sudden, Japanese religious shrines are burning. I wonder why. Because they've imported criminals and there's no fucking penalty. So, the state of Mississippi, Florida, wake up. Look what Mississippi's doing. They got a new billboard warning violent criminals. Here's what the sign says. Welcome to Mississippi, where the firing squad is legal. Think twice. Folks, deterrence. Deterrence works. It's either they die because we kill them for being criminals, or we die for refusing to take care of the criminal problem. Civility requires deterrence and penalty for crime. Criminality requires people to do nothing when bad people commit crimes. And that's what we have right now. And I say that this doesn't just apply to these teen kids or illegals or your fucking hillbilly trash or your fucking hick trash or your fucking swamp billies or your fucking ghetto rats. You know, I don't care, right? Everyone gets it, including the elitist oligarchs who need to know there's a firing squad for them and their crimes. It's either them or all of us. It's either the criminals die or the free people die. And I don't feel like dying. I haven't done anything to deserve death. These fucking criminals have. Rapists, fraudsters stealing millions and billions, poisoning our air, poisoning our water, creating massive surveillance systems to try and control our lives, lying to us on every fucking turn about energy, where it comes from, how it can be used, our freedoms and liberties, poisoning our food, ruining our food, killing fucking animals, dropping fucking mRNA mosquitoes and ticks to fuck us up, telling us we have to eat bugs, drink cockroach milk, while they kill our cows, our chickens, our turkeys, our pigs, and everything that we need to eat. You know, I tell you what, folks, yeah. Wow. Share the internet address. This is, I guess, a very hardcore channel talking about what's really going on, what's the real problem, how we need to solve it, and what you can do to survive the fucking mayhem that's coming. Hardcore. And I, way back at the beginning, way back in 2013 and 2014, I said, you don't like my language? You think my language is rough? You think it's offensive? You know what's fucking offensive? Is little girls getting raped by fucking billionaires and CEOs and politicians and royalty. That's fucked up. My language is nothing compared to what they do to children. They kidnap them. They groom them. They punish them. They pull their fucking teeth out so they can rape them and not get bit. They rape children, boys and girls. They hunt them for sport. They shoot them. They drain their blood and drink it. They fucking eat kids. It's in the Epstein files, and that's just what's been released. They refuse to release the real videos of them doing stuff. I'm talking all this satanic shit. They've got the videos. They've got the pictures. They know the men and the women who are doing this to children. They know them all. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested and he was killed and escaped to Israel. They did catch Jizzy Maxwell finally, and they've got her in a Club Fed with a pet dog and her own fucking menu, and they want to give her, folks, a pardon. Are you fucking kidding me? A pardon? A lot of the victims, and the victims are alive, folks. There's a lot of living victims. Say Jizzy, was worse than fucking Jeffrey Epstein. She was more evil, more twisted, more rapey, more everything. The letters, it's them. It's them or us. And they are in charge. They're committing every crime. That fraud. I mean, get this. There's yet another fraud scandal now going on in Minnesota. Does any of this concern you guys? Do you give a fuck? Or are you like, man, I just got to pay my own bills and keep my head low and not get in trouble and not say anything? That's not going to fucking win. That will not save you. Another fraud scandal, another nonprofit is being accused of stealing $6.5 million in Tim Walz's Minnesota for luxury cars, personal spending, Vegas trips. What is this? This is the third, fourth, fifth mega scandal? It's exposing fraud, right? Yet no arrests, folks. Zero. Zilch. Nada. None. You either get law and order or you get elite control and theft of all our money. When are you going to do something? Now, I'm not saying commit an act of violence or hurt anyone. I'm saying you better be prepared, because at some point the shit is going to get so bad there will be people getting violent. Now, several of these AI data centers have been stopped because people showed up and said, not in my fucking town, not in my fucking state. And they shut it down. The one in Utah, one of the 3 county commissioners there that voted for it is crying fucking alligator tears, crocodile tears. Boo, people are at my house protesting and saying I'm a bad person. Yeah, you fucking sold out all of Utah, you dickhead. I believe he's a criminal. I believe he's been bribed. I believe he's being controlled. I believe he needs to go to fucking jail. And if it's treasonous, he needs to be fucking killed for it. That's what I believe, law and order. Otherwise, you get elite control and theft. People are standing up and going and getting active. They're talking to friends. They're talking to family. They're talking to coworkers. They're waking people up. You know what's fucking hilarious? It is 7:37 Eastern Standard Time. At 5:15, I put out the notification that the zoo is coming, and here's the link. It just literally popped through. 2 fucking hours later, over an hour and a half into the show, people tell me I'm not getting the notification. I know. I get it. They're fucking with us. They are literally trying to fucking hide us. But you are here, and the only way to get the message out clean, share the internet address. Share the internet address. All right, we've got Big Dan the Man Erickson, a great super chat, Prepared Mind sponsor, contributor, helper, does a $5 super chat. That button's right up there, and he got you on here, Big Dan. He says, at my 86-year-old mother's house, about ready for good halibut. Can't chat much tonight. John, family time. See you guys next Sunday. Oh, it is Mother's Day. It is. It's Mother's Day. My sister and I got my mom a nice Mother's Day present. She wanted, of all things, a cherry tree. You got it, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. We got a lot of brothers and sisters from another mother as well. Anyways, yes, happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Big Dan. Enjoy time with the family. Enjoy the halibut for the hell of it. You guys have been great. It is Mother's Day, and it's important to remember what's important, who's important, why they're important. Northern Pike says, $2 super chat says, what happened to Comey's by World War II veterans bring it back. Let's just talk about the Comeys that I know about. You got James Comey, former director of the FBI, has committed what I believe to be several acts of treason. He interfered with the 2016 election. He lied and used federal power. He was the former FBI director. He engaged in intelligence and espionage with foreign intelligence agencies, namely, well, MI6 in Australia and New Zealand, the Five Eyes, Canada as well. And they created a document, the Steele document, which I believe came out of Britain, which is a fucking lie, accusing Trump of being a Russian asset so they could arrest Trump for treason. James Comey is a giant, lying, treasonous sack of shit, in my opinion. Lots of evidence. Plus, he threatened Trump's life with his 8647 seashells that he took a picture of and put on the internet. 86 means kill, 47 is Trump. Not that I'm the hugest Trump fan with what he's been doing to our country, sending our money, putting our entire military at risk, the lives of men and women in our armed services, and risking the rest of us here in America by saying, oh, the illegals can stay. We need them. They're good people. When he was running for office, they're bad hombres. We need to get them out. Once he's in the office, he's like, yeah, they're fine. They're good people. They need to stay here. While they rape, kill, murder, sell drugs, kidnap, human traffic, commit fraud. Yeah, thanks, Trump. Anyways, that doesn't mean Comey's not a piece of shit, not a liar. And his daughter, also an attorney, has been in charge of high-profile cases having to do with Epstein and other fraud and other corruption. And she's done a great job of making sure nobody gets prosecuted. Yep, the fucking Comeys. Old veterans are getting pissed, folks. They may be the first ones to go and pop their fucking cork and start fixing things. I'm not suggesting anyone do anything illegal, harmful, dangerous to yourself or others, but understand who the enemy of you and your neighbor and your family and America is. It is all of these rich fucks who went to Washington, D.C., or your state capital, or hell, even City Hall, to enrich themselves, to steal, to commit fraud, and fuck you over, and then leave you with the bill. Right? Now, you go to a restaurant. You sit down. You order a dinner with you and your family, you and your friends, you and your coworkers, doesn't matter. And there's a table over there. And 10 people get up and walk right out the door, don't pay their fucking bill. Does that affect you in any way? Not immediately. But next time you come in, food's going to be more expensive. Because people are stealing from the system. And someone's got to pay for it. With the government stealing from us, wasting, committing fraud, sending money overseas, laundering it, sending it back to themselves. Fuckers. Lawyers. Bureaucrats, politicians, Washington, D.C. Even state governments are sending their money over to Israel, including Florida doing that. James Fishback, running for governor of Florida as a Republican, says none of these fucking data centers, none of this shit, none of sending our money out of this fucking state, right? That needs to end. Anyways, they do all that. We're going to get the bill. You and me, as taxpayers, we get the bill. We get the debt. Just like your table today, you're eating at the regular price. Next time you're in, you're going to get that debt piled on top of it. We all have to pay for this, folks. We all have to pay. We're all going to have to pay. You know, they want us worried about China. Do you need to be worried about China? Well, Senator Bernie Moreno says that the Chinese electric vehicles are a threat to us. Yeah. Quote, these are predator companies that seek to destroy the Western auto world. Well, guess what? Yeah. America used to manufacture cars for the world. Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Chevrolet, Pontiac, Cadillac, Buick, Oldsmobile. Yeah. Dodge, Chrysler. American companies. They're owned by the big three, right? The heads of those. All those companies fell under three corporations. Chrysler, Dodge is now Chrysler Daimler, which is Mercedes. You got General Motors still, and you got Ford still. They make very fucking expensive vehicles. Buying a truck for $75,000 to $150,000. Thank you, Ford. Right? You want an EV? Well, China's making vehicles, folks. Japan has some Toyotas. Incredible vehicles. Can't get them here because of safety or emissions or some other bullshit. They're protecting American industry. I get that. But why do we have to pay so much for a fucking car? Not to mention, your car is going to snitch on you. Your car is going to tell the government and the police and your insurance company how fast you drive, how unsafe you drive. They're going to give you a rating. And if you're too crazy, if you're too excited, too scared, too upset, too weak, whatever you're too much of, the car will just shut down. There's already people who have been shut down. It causes accidents because you just stop accelerating. You're on a fucking freeway doing 70 in a 65. Ooh, right? But everyone else is doing 70, 75, 80. You're just trying to get the fuck out of the way. All of a sudden, you're slowing down. You're trying to pull over a car that's essentially dead because the computer system has determined you're a bad person. These go into full production in 2027. But we're supposed to worry about Chinese electric vehicles destroying us, right? Also, the Chinese vehicles, folks, same technical know-how, same awesomeness as our EVs, but guess what? They're about 25 to 50% of the cost of our vehicles. Now, I tell you what, they can send those over here. Trump can put a giant fucking tariff on them so that they're priced competitively with America. Why don't we do that? Why don't we have a free and fair market? The government gets its what? It's tariff money. You and I get freedom of choice. If Ford is going to fuck me over, if Chevy's going to fuck me over, if Chrysler's going to fuck me over, well, then I'll just buy a foreign company. See, they don't want us doing that. And I get it. I want Americans to have good jobs with American products that are made with American materials, that is mined, produced, refined, and turned into goods and services right for here. But these companies are all about what? Themselves. So basically, yet again, fuck me. Literally, right? Just go fuck yourself. Bloated companies, bloated government, bloated bureaucracy. That's the world we live in. That's the matrix now that controls you. Hey, by the way, what do you guys want to talk about? This is your channel. I've covered a few of my things. Super chat button right up there. We've got 10 minutes left in the show. Now, as long as we got super chats coming in, I'll keep on talking. But it's your show. That's what the zoo is about. I want everyone to know I'm just the host. I just talk about the topics. I keep abreast of them as much as I can. I have my opinions based not on communism or fascism, far right. Yeah, those are far right authoritarian. I am about freedom and liberty. I am about the United States Constitution, limited government, maximum freedom for people, law and order, evil, bad, good, good, right? That's what I'm about. The government is about enriching themselves, increasing their power, and then controlling you, of course. That's what they're about. Good golly, I tell you. Fuck. Wow. Let's go through a couple of things again before we finish the show up. You guys, you're invited. Super chat button right up there, or Venmo, CashApp, PayPal. But here, Sunday night, by the way, for all the new people that show up, be sure to subscribe. Sunday Night Live is your show. It's the one where you guys get to really control everything, and it's more fun. If you need prepper meds, you need antiviral, you need antiparasitic, you need antimicrobial, right? Medical stuff, supplies, Jay's Medical. That's the website address, HTTPS, right? Copy that down. Pause the video, write it down. Pause the video, open another window, right? That is how you get medicine that you're not going to find easily or at all anywhere else. Coffee, I'm telling you right now, shit hits the fan. You're going to need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, communications gear, radios, right? The solar power to charge things. But by golly, coffee. Coffee. Everyone else is going to be scared because they don't know what's going on. You know what's going on. You are a prepared mind. They're going to be thirsty because, well, they don't have good supply of water, or they have a bad supply and it's making them sick. So they get dysentery, the shits, Montezuma's revenge, because they don't know how to get purified water. You do. Lots of options on water. Right, the Berkey water filter is great. You can make your own filtration systems where you can boil water. Anyways, people are going to be that. They're going to be hungry because they don't have food. The average American has 3 days worth of food. I recommend a minimum of 3 months of stored food. Preparedmind.club has it. Here is your coffee, though. Hey, coffee and also candy. Get candy. Candy for yourself, candy for kids, candy for neighbors. Same with alcohol. Vodka is good medically. It's an antiseptic. It's a cleaner. It's a degreaser. It's a cleanser. It's also a drink, right? Alcohol is an antidepressant. It is a depressant. It'll slow you down, calm you down. It is a painkiller. It is an antiseptic for cuts. Have alcohol, have candy, and have coffee. Anything you have, if shit gets really nasty, anything you have that reminds you of good times, normalcy, is going to be very important to you. And coffee is one of them. Get your coffee. If you've got everything taken care of, once again, protect your wealth. For everyone who doesn't know, here's a big fat fucking reminder from John. Your deposits, your money in the bank is not your money. Your money is not on deposit in that bank. You have a chit, a piece of paper telling you how much money you have invested in that bank. Your deposits, whether in a checking account, a savings account, a money market account, that is an unsecured loan. You have given your money to the bank in the form of a loan called a deposit. You cannot demand your money come out. If that bank fails, all the other creditors that have secured loans are the first ones who get paid when they liquidate everything that bank owns, and you're guaranteed nothing. Oh, but John, FDIC insurance. Really? You know that FDIC has, relative to the amount of people and their deposits, they have 1% of all the money that's been put in banks in the form of, well, checking and savings, money market accounts, etc. They have like 1, maybe 2% in FDIC insurance. So what happens if we have a major banking crisis? I'll tell you what happens. You're fucked. Which is why, for me, when I had money, right, I bought silver. And for the family office, my family office, I take care of their investments. For friends that ask, I tell them what I've done for my family office. I'm not a financial advisor, certified or not. I'm just John. But I know that when the bank goes under, when the government confiscates the bank's wealth, I own that piece of physical coin right there. Bank failed? Hey, look what I still have. Wealth. Money. Paper is not money. Paper is a promise to pay. And that promise can be canceled anytime. All right, folks, we're doing great. Great show. I'm glad you're all here. We got tons of comments. You are a creditor, an unsecured creditor. All right, let's go through. What do we got here? We got all kinds of comments. Let's do this. Let's see. We got Dan Alan Meyer Jensen, Northern Hillbilly, Mighty Mouse, Girlfriend, Courageous Cat, Banned Again. Are you? Walter Ross. I want to just name off people I'm seeing in here. Lots of people participating. Christina Thompson, Viking. We talked to Viking earlier. Got lots of people. One of the things we all need to do, I believe, is we need to speak up. We all need to speak up, not just to each other here, but this is a good place to start. Speak up at work. Speak up with your family. Look, if you're like, they already think I'm crazy, good, let them. Every time a conspiracy theory comes true, you can say, was I lying? Did I speak the truth? Fucking listen, right? They need to fucking listen. We had really good participation. Washburn Billy. Northern Hillbilly. We got all kinds of people. You guys have been great. Christina Thompson's here. Now I can't remember all the names. Of course, Big Dan Erickson, B&T, M7, something about ogres. There's an ogre on here. Ogre. Anyways, this is your world, folks. This is a great question. Michael Hacker asked the question. Trump is better than any Democrat. John, do you think knocking Trump before midterms is a good idea? I don't think betraying the American voters that voted for Trump, supported Trump, financed Trump, went on the road for Trump, attended his rallies, I don't think shitting on us is a good idea, Michael. Trump promised us to get the illegals out. Trump promised us the Epstein files. Trump promised us so many things, and he didn't come through. I don't think it's a good idea for Trump to shit on Americans. Tell us he doesn't need us. We bought his fucking hats. We bought his merch. We supported Trump. You know, it's Walter Ross. I do need a Glenfiddich 14. I do need that. Yes, sir. Typically Sunday Night Live, $50 super chats. I get a scotch. You know, I want to have a politician, Michael, that really, truly represents us as Americans. I believe Governor DeSantis has done a great job. He's had a few fuck-ups, but he's done a great job. Trump, he doesn't need us? Well, see, here's the deal. That shitbird, left-wing, right-wing, that's our government. It doesn't matter to them whether a Republican or a Democrat gets elected, because the people that pay their bills, the people that finance them, the people that have bought them, they don't care about America. They support with money Democrats and Republicans, whether we're talking about corporations, international banks, foreign corporations, or Israel and AIPAC, or the Middle East, or China, because China was supporting a lot of the Biden things. They don't care who wins. They put money on both sides, and whoever wins, they get that money back and then some. I don't want to knock Trump. I don't think he's better than any Democrat, because what did Democrats do? They took us to war and spent all of our fucking money and used our weapons in Ukraine versus the Russians. Trump is taking our own military and our weapons and fighting for Israelis. Netanyahu. Either way, either party, they're fucking us. I don't know if Trump is better than any Democrat. I do know he is less communist than Kamala Harris. I do know that. But what I do know is one of the most patriotic, pro-America voting congressmen, Thomas Massey, is being campaigned against by Trump. His opponent in the Republican primary, Michael, has $10 million fucking dollars for one congressional seat in one district in one state, Tennessee. And they're trying to get rid of Thomas Massie, who is pro-America, America first. That's what I want, is I want candidates and a political party and a country to be run by people who say, let's make America first. Let's take care of our veterans, our homeless, our crazy nutcases. Let's fix our own problems before we give billions and indeed trillions to the rest of the world. Look, 3 fucking times I supported and voted for Trump. But we have been infiltrated and taken over, if you want to use that word, bought out, corrupted by foreign interests. Foreign interests who know that if they introduce communism to America, they can destroy it. They call it socialism. It's just communism light. They have pushed the homosexual agenda all over us. Trump has not been about that. Good. He did that right. I'm very proud of him. Good job. But he hasn't done a great job, and he is shit. And I take it personally, Michael, and I shouldn't, because Trump doesn't know who John the Prepared Mind is. He doesn't give a fuck about me, but he doesn't give a fuck about any of us, and he told us that. He told us directly, Michael, I'm not going to release the names of all of the people who are on Epstein's client list because those are friends of mine, and I don't want them to get hurt. Meanwhile, they're literally kidnapping children, boys and girls. They're taking them to other places, Zorro Ranch, Epstein Island, who knows how many other castles, estates. Right? They're hunting them as a game. They're killing them and eating them. And in some cases, they torture them, scare the hell out of them to cause their bodies to just pump out adrenaline, and then they slit their throats and drink their fucking blood to get the adrenochrome. There are companies, and I believe some of them are Israeli, believe it or not, that literally sell adrenochrome, which is adrenaline-infused children's blood. It's not a fucking joke. Pizzagate was real. Epstein is real. Little St. James is real. Zorro Ranch is real. That is the place, I believe, where Judge Justice Scalia, Supreme Court Justice, died. I think it was Zorro Ranch. If not, it was another ranch where allegedly, there were a lot of children involved. It doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat, these fucking people have sold out. They've been compromised. They've been lured over to the dark side. Once you're there, they fucking own you. Why do you think so many congressmen quit and resign and try and hide? State level, same thing. Local level, same thing. They finally get in. They're like, you know what? I can't fucking deal with this, right? They're hurt. They get caught. It is crazy shit, Michael. I think it's important to address this. I like the point you're making. I love America. I love our country, but the people running it have fucking sold us out. They are putting data centers in. They're stealing people's money. They're fucking our economy up. They're fucking our environment up. They're poisoning the air, poisoning our food, taking our food, raising the cost of everything, screwing us out of our own oil, letting private companies sell it overseas, charging us too much. We're going to a massive surveillance system that is being controlled by foreign interests that think of us as their fucking cattle, their slaves, and that they can murder us anytime they want. And they admit that. They're introducing bugs that have bioengineered fucking disease in them. So when the bug bites you, you develop an allergy and you cannot eat beef. You can't eat meat. It's fucking awful what they're doing to us. And they're not stopping. They're getting more aggressive. They're openly admitting it. They hold conferences that are available to the public and they're admitting it. That's why I'm so upset about it. It's not just one rogue asshole, like just one Bill Gates, who has spent decades developing with his scientists. He's not a scientist. He's not a doctor. He's not even that fucking smart. He is, by the way, I think his mother's Jewish. He is and has been involved in creating vaccines and experimenting on people in the poorest countries, thinking they're getting some sort of medical help. In India, in Africa, and they're sterilizing people with their vaccines, testing them on fucking people and finding out, yeah, that sterilized the fuck out of them. It reduced the fertility rate, right? And here we are in America. Fertility rates going down. People can't afford to have kids. They're not getting married because of feminism, aggressive, hate-filled, anti-penis feminism, right? They have pitted people against people. They have pitted religion against religion. They have pitted all of us against each other politically. They create these single issue supporters that will die for abortion or die for illegals. Shit has hit the fan. It's not getting better. Michael, I really appreciate you bringing that topic up, because it is important. I would love to have a political candidate I can get behind. James Fishback. He's saying the right words in Florida. Will he be a real governor? Look, Byron Donalds, who's a Republican, he's also a criminal. Republican or not, he's a criminal. He is pro-abortion. He is pro-data center. And he says it's a personal insult to him if you don't support the things he supports. Fuck you, Byron fucking sellout Donalds. No, I don't want him. Thomas Massey up in Tennessee. He has the best voting record. He hasn't taken any money from AIPAC, the Israelis. And so they hate him and they're trying to kill him. What's that tell you? The people that don't allow you to criticize them are not the right people to be in positions of power. Right? You know who owns you and rules the roost when you can't criticize them. People were criticizing Trump. He said, fuck you to all of us. I don't need you people. No, he doesn't. He's now a lame duck president, can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's not going to get elected again because he served his second term. Oh, they want to fix that. The Israelis, Miriam Adelson, guess what? Oh, yeah, she wants him to run for a third term. She'll finance it. Miriam Adelson, super Israeli, billionaire. Literal billionaire. I think she owns sporting teams. She owns fucking super rich, and she's funding Trump. She is funding everybody because they fund both sides, both wings of the dirty shitbird. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Godspeed to all. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the super chats. I'll be back tomorrow. Go to thepreparedmind.club and you can sign up and be a premium member there live Monday through Friday and talk about things daily. For now, I am gone. I am off the air. I'm going to get some rest, continue to recover my health because I need it. And I recommend the same for you guys. Godspeed to all. God bless America and freedom for everyone in the world. And Semper Fi means always faithful.